Welcome to Delray Cinema. I'm your host, Brendan.
And your host, Sean.
Today we're going to be looking at the 1992 classic, My Cousin Vinny. Man, I'm really excited for this film. Are you?
Oh, you have no idea. We're going to talk about some greats here. Man, do I love some Joe Pesci. He is one funny-ass person. Hilarious.
Yes, definitely hilarious. Definitely big around this era, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He was doing, what was it? Was he doing Goodfellas at that time, too?
They were actually making this film while he received his Oscar for Goodfellas, actually.
Last time I checked, he was sleeping with his Oscar in this movie at some point, right?
Yeah, there is a scene in this film and another film where he's wearing clothes with a big lump, and that's actually his Oscar. He carried it everywhere with him after he won.
We might have to go through that in the movie and let people know exactly kind of what time that is, and just so kind of people can go and have an idea of, what that might look like and how funny that is, just how obsessed he was with winning that award for, his role in Goodfellas.
This was like a year or so after both Goodfellas.
Yeah, wasn't it?
And the first Home Alone.
And what was the award for, right? Best co-starring actor, right? Supporting actor, yeah, as well. Yeah. But, man, let's get back to the show. So, My Cousin Vinny is just one funny damn movie. It's got two kids in it that are wrongfully accused of murder, and all they did was shoplift a can of tuna. Is that what that's about right there?
Yeah.
Just no.
They believe that they're shoplifting, getting busted for shoplifting a can of tuna. They have no idea until the said officer interrogating him, literally tells him, when did you shoot the tuna?
I didn't.
And all Ralph Macchio does back is just go, I shot the clerk.
You know what's funny? And I feel like in any other situation, you think they would, ask you a little bit more than that instead of just, assuming that because you just didn't say anything, that you shot a clerk right off the bat. Maybe that's something in that state, and to draw a shotgun on someone right off the bat, thinking, murder, that's out of fucking control.
Just the way that Ralph Macchio holds his hands up, he's like, Jesus, all this over a can of tuna.
Yeah, he really thought that was for a can of tuna. What do they do for stealing fucking, a car battery over there? You know what I mean? Jesus. An old town.
I think
set in its ways, definitely, right?
Yeah.
Set in its ways, especially in the judicial system.
I believe that it takes place in Alabama, but the actual production and the filming of the movie took place in Georgia, Jasper County, Georgia.
You're kidding me?
Yeah. No, I'm dead serious.
Really?
Yeah. They shot it in a different state.
I wonder why they didn't shoot it in Alabama.
I have no idea.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
They shot it like right at the beginning of 91, because this came out a whole year later in 92.
Yeah, it's just his role. His role in this movie with all the actors, Marissa Tomei and Herman Munster as the judge.
Yeah.
It's this. And one of his last roles, from what I understand, right?
His actual last role.
It is, and then he passed, unfortunately, right? God rest his soul.
He passed later in 90.
Yeah. Man, Joe Pesci, though, he's just a terrible defense attorney in the beginning of this movie. Absolutely dreadful. I feel like he would be better serving cheeseburgers than being a fucking lawyer. You know what I mean?
You got it.
This guy is just trash in the beginning of this movie.
But you have to give it to his honesty when he's meeting with them for the first time, and they're asking him, what's your lawyer experience? Have you ever had a trial? And he's like, no.
That's one thing I loved about this movie, though, is it just shows you that it's his first case, and he wants to go ahead and take a murder case just because it's his nephew. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's really his cousin. It's his cousin.
Yeah.
See, there goes me, just fucking things up as usual.
And then I think the whole ironic part about it is that you have a bunch of these guys from New York in the South for this trial. Herman Munster, Fred Gwynn, is the judge, a Southern judge. The irony is that he was from New York himself in real life.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Alabama.
Yep.
That's absolutely nothing.
So literally, those actors in real life have nothing to do with Alabama.
What do you think the Chinese joke, the Chinese food joke thing about the Marissa Tomei? What's her obsession here with Chinese food? And every you think you go all the way to Alabama for some Chinese food?
For some reason, I just heard that in Jerry Seinfeld's voice. What is the deal?
Yeah, seriously.
Why would you ask for Chinese food in the South?
And what's the deal also with them thinking automatically just, a girl doesn't know everything about cars?
Right,
that's a stretch.
That definitely progressive for its time.
Earlier in the time too. That was before the millennium.
Well, yeah.
The
90s was when. Well, the 90s was when people started to become genuinely more aware of things, like more aware of what's the realities of what's going on in the world, like progressiveness and all that other stuff.
Yeah, and just this whole
2000s. That's when it, women were finally given more credit. Actually, given more credit for.
Oh yeah, for a lot of the stuff that they did and everything. It was, that's, we got to make sure we appreciate that.
Of course,
the drive for that. Is very, very important. This whole entire movie is just filled with hilarious laughs. Just if you're in for a good movie that's really going to get you intrigued by some good old humor and just. A little bit of seriousness. But, Joe Pesci, we always see him in just such a serious role. When I think of Joe Pesci,
you think of
a
psycho gangster.
No, I think of a guy beating the shit out of someone with a bat. That's what I think of when I think of Joe Pesci. Someone stabbing someone in the face with a fucking
right.
You know what I mean?
Or slipping on or getting hit in the face with a paint can.
Yeah, or something just something stupid, or something just super, mob related. But which was his normal calling. That's why I love this movie, because it just shows him in just such a not give a shit type of attitude. It's
one of his few actual humorous roles. There is another role that is just as humorous, but it's in a different genre type of movie. But we'll get there when we get there.
And as you guys know, you don't know, it's the first episode. We watch these movies as we're filming them as well. You can't hear them, but it's just so everyone gets a better take of what the actors are about and everything like that. In the show.
Right.
I think that's smart, and I think everyone really needs to know that. But man, there are some scenes in here.
It's just so genius to see Pesci and Gwyn kind of feed off of each other and go into their comedic elements. It's almost like Fred Gwynn is back as an older version of Herman. And there's a lot of nods off to
God,
there are a lot of nods off to Herman.
Oh, the great series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Munsters?
The Munsters was a fantastic series.
I wasn't born when obviously that series, that was before my time.
Yeah, neither was I.
But of course I watched it.
Right.
They had it on all of our TV channel stations growing up. Exactly. But man, what do you think? Brendan, what do you think about this whole? What do you think about the whole, whole thing about the judicial system and how they do things in the movie? How do you feel about it? Do you think it's kind of a little bit?
I feel like in this particular case, they had or still have. I have no idea. Maybe it's just a Southern thing in general to have a lot of animosity from people either outside of their area or anyone from New York or New Jersey. Just a simple North versus South sort of thing.
I think that's kind of. I think that it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays it's still just kind of like that, and it is really sad that we have still that. You think one person is one way, but they're not, or you think
judging a book by its
exactly, and that's just trash. And that's one thing that I feel like this one kind of reminds you, and I feel like because it's an older time, it kind of goes to show you that, maybe if you're not from around here, you're not as welcome as people that are.
Right.
But I feel like as we progressed a little bit, maybe it's not so much like that, but I mean, maybe I could be wrong. You know what I mean? What do you think about that, Brendan?
What I think is that, yeah, sure, it makes a perfect backdrop for a comedy movie, but...
Oh, God, you're telling me.
At the same time, it does show that just because you're an outsider in a different environment, a lot of times you might not even be welcome to that environment, but at the end of the day, we're all pretty much the same.
I agree with that totally. I agree. And I think, it's the same. When everyone's happy, people laugh the same. You know what I mean? And that's what we're about here. We're about...
When you enjoy something and someone else enjoys it, you're sharing that moment.
Exactly. And that's what this show is really about, sharing that happiness as opposed to... There's no negativity in this show, so if that's what you guys are looking for and trying to find in a listening audience, unfortunately this isn't the station for you. This is a very positive feedback station. We're going to talk about, just all the stuff that we're going to be going over with today's movie, My Cousin Vinny. Just all the fun stuff with that and just everything else that goes along with it.
What we do want to mention also is that we're not only going to solely focus on movies, but also television and music. But, we might do side episodes, like, say, for certain characters, certain actors.
Let's just put it this way. There's definitely going to be a lot of Joe Pesci episodes, a lot of episodes with... We're not going to get into the details. It's for, we were surprised. We're going to have a lot of surprises for you guys, yeah.
As we go on, we are going to be seeing a lot different movies with the same actors in them.
And we're very excited about it, as you guys should too, as well. This whole drama between Joe Pesci and
Herman.
Oh yeah, this whole movie is just makes this movie what it is. There's the whole movie. They are arguing, bickering. Joe Pesci just. Let's be frank here. He's a fuck up in the beginning of this movie, right?
Yeah, not necessarily.
A little bit, right? Just a little bit?
Not necessarily a fuck up, but more like he got in over his head.
Just a little bit, right?
Because he when he speaks with Marissa Tomei later on in the hotel, he's telling her, oh yeah, I told Aunt so-and-so, sure, I could do it, no problem. I already got myself thrown in jail twice.
Yeah, so more like, I feel like maybe an inexperience.
Yeah.
Very inexperienced.
But nonetheless, yeah, he did fuck up.
I wonder why to take on the whole, lawyer, first time, kind of went over that earlier. But, his whole idea of becoming this right into a murder case. You know what I mean?
Right.
What a reach, and especially,
I'm pretty sure Herman could, or I should say the judge. We don't want to call anybody, but just by one character. But the judge probably saw right through him because the way that he's looking at him when Pesci's explaining to him all his previous cases and his experience and everything, the way Herman's looking at him, he's just looking at him like.
God, look at the way. Look how this fucking guy is. Look how this guy's dressed. He said it. Look at the other dress. We gotta.
And he sits on.
You guys gotta watch this movie right now.
He sits on top of the table.
Let me ask you guys a question. And by the way, at some point we are gonna have live callers and everything. We're working on that right now. We will have it. We're very, very, very excited about it. I can't stop laughing. I wish we were doing this live right now, to be honest, just so I could ask people to call me. How how many judges do you know sit on a table in a courthouse? Just what are you thinking?
Everyone in the rows going backwards.
Everyone's looking at him like he's crazy.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
Even in this movie, that's one thing. Every role, mob boss or not, Joe Pesci does not give a shit.
Well, no, because you see how he is. He doesn't know. His character doesn't know. Everyone thinks that he does. Even him. He's allowing himself to believe that.
Oh my God.
Because remember, coming up, he's like, he told me to sit here.
And what do you think about them? What do you think about Robert Gambini and Billy? We haven't really talked about them. We really kind of brushed the subject. What do you think about them going into this? Like the whole after the tuna scene, the whole conviction, is just kind of, without giving away the movie. Like, how do you feel the whole? It was kind of nonsense, right?
I think in their minds, once they found out it was a murder, that they're being booked for murder, an accessory to murder, that they just wanted to get through that and hope that they get proven innocent. They kind of knew that, okay, we're in a courtroom and in a situation where our outcome might not happen, where we know for damn sure the jury is going to go against us without any proper evidence. So in their minds, I'm pretty sure they're thinking, I just hope Vinny can do it. I just hope Vinny, more so Gambini than Rothstein. Because Rothstein from the get-go, remember, from the get-go, he was pretty much eyeballing Vinny as in, should we really choose him or not? Because he doesn't have any experience.
Rothstein, I felt the whole time, was more scared.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
Definitely, right?
Yeah. Because from the beginning.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him. Murder, I wouldn't want to be charged for murder.
Well, from the beginning, when they're driving, and the cops is following him, and he's telling them there's nothing to worry about until there's something to worry about.
Shit, if I got arrested for murder, I'd be crying like a little girl. You know what I mean? I gotta hold it to him for not doing that shit. Right, you know what I mean? Like, God, Marissa Tomei, look at her.
Well,
She's really absolutely stunning in every movie that she does.
She really is.
Even when she co-stars in TV shows.
Yeah.
She is drop dead gorgeous. I just don't get it. I get it, but you know what I mean?
Right.
Just damn. Every time. And she's also, really funny in this role. She's got a lot of really good lines.
I honestly believe that this was her big break. Her breakout role.
Was she doing this before she did the co-star roles? Did she do this before she did the co-star roles in Seinfeld and all those?
Yeah, This is way. In fact, I think this is what boosted her to be on Seinfeld later on.
What else did she do?
Let's see. Well, everyone knows her now as Aunt May because of the new Spider-Man universe and series.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's done other movies, acted with other people, like, we go through the list. If you want, do you want to pull up her?
No, we could. If you guys want to,
there's probably some movies in there that we've seen that.
Let's check it out real quick. Let's just do a quick one. It'll take about 40 seconds here.
Because honestly, if you really think about it,
let's check it out here. Okay, so what do we got for you?
Let's see.
Let's just talk about, her as just her ongoing success. She's done so many movies. This list is endless. Let's just talk about let's just mention her last few that really, inspired people here. We got Spider-Man, which everyone knows, No Way Home. The Wrestler, My Cousin Vinny, Crazy Stupid Love, Spider-Man Far From Home. That was actually a funny movie in general. That was just Crazy Stupid Love, if you guys haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
And I forgot she was in Anger Management.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You remember that?
It was a small part though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, I believe so.
I have to go back and check that out.
Yeah, that would be, That would be one to look. I haven't seen Anger Management in a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
It's been years since I've seen it.
Can't wait to start talking about Jack Nicholson. We got some greats for you guys. For him, I got
no spoilers, but
no spoilers at all. We got some movies lined up.
We got good movies coming. We got good artists.
Great artists. We're gonna have some special guests too at some point.
We are
in the next couple months.
Yep,
we're working that out
as we pick up.
It's gonna cost a little money, but but we're gonna do it.
It takes a little time.
Exactly, we gotta do something.
We need to, as every podcaster show in general starts out, we just need to find where our stamp is.
And we got it. We know what we're doing. But
and this podcast was in a long time in the making.
Oh, definitely. Wasn't it? It was just crazy how long it took to get this going.
This is
almost a year
of prepping.
No, yeah,
a year to 4 months of prepping it.
Just about something like that.
We started the concept a year ago, and then just
prepping it is ridiculous.
Right at the end of this year,
getting everything
just because so much gets in the way. Life happens. And
that's why I figured figured My Cousin Vinny would be a perfect start because not a lot of people know this movie. It's kind of really one of those hidden gems. There's a lot of movies out there that are honestly, they're diamonds in the rough, and people overlook them, and it is quite sad because it makes you more cultured in the movie world, and if you're someone that really enjoys good movies, this is definitely one that you really, really need to see, and you're going to want to see, and you're going to enjoy it.
And it's crazy because, with that being said, take Ralph Macchio for example. Everyone all knows him as Daniel LaRusso from Karate Kid. And now Cobra Kai. For me, this was my introduction to him, this movie, My Cousin Vinny.
Right.
I love his character in this.
God, I love him in this movie.
But
and the stupid little fights he gets into.
And it's not
like that. There's a pool scene in that's really funny.
Oh
yeah. And he's just over $200.
Pesci, yeah. That was when he goes into the bar to collect it. I felt like that was a little nod to his wise guy roles, just because he is a collector.
And no, it was definitely a nod because he was ready to beat the shit out of him. Yeah, he didn't care.
And he even started off by saying, "Do I have to kill you?"
He didn't give him that famous stare though.
Right.
I wish
he didn't give
Joe Pesci gave him that stare with his he gives that little where his bottom lip is open a little bit, and I feel like there needs to be that toothpick in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That fuck you look.
You didn't give him the "How am I funny, sir?"
Yeah, exactly. More like that.
Tell me how
you talk to me like that again, I might rip your leg off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or burn your house down.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
But he would say, "That's my business."
Yeah, exactly. That's none of your concerns. Yeah, let me just worry about some Rolexes and diamonds real quick and kill your whole family. You know what I mean? Oh man, this movie. What do you think of the food that they choose going through this? They chose some. Let's start with the food culture in Alabama for breakfast in 1992. Exactly.
Let's start with the diner. They go into a diner. They open the menu only to find that it has 3 options: breakfast, lunch, dinner. So they skim through it, making it look like there's so many items on that menu, and they're both looking at each other. Breakfast? Pesci just goes, "You think?" Then when the camera just pans in,
it's just ridiculous. But the food, can I tell you guys something straight off the bat? The food that they have in places like Alabama and in the South, God, it's just got that taste to it. You know what I mean? You just want to eat everything.
Yeah.
I feel like if I spent more than a month in the South, I would be the fattest blimp in the world.
It has that home-cooked vibe.
Oh, I know.
Those home-cooked meal vibes. Right?
Yeah. And being from this is hosting in San Diego, by the way. We're known for a lot of street tacos. We're known for a lot of taco shops, a lot of really famous burger joints, also being on the borderline of Los Angeles, and also thankfully right on the cusp of Mexico too.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Mexico, of course.
In fact, the entire strip from National City all the way to San Isidro.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got to really thank the best. God, our food is so damn good because of it. I
taco shops, BDS, or any.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All the way down.
If any of you guys are ever in San Diego, taco shops. That's all you need to worry about is just taco shops. That is it. So,
as far as burger places, I mean, we have
a fair lot. Yeah. We have a good amount. But going back to what we were saying about this, though. I mean, what are they eating through this? Let's go over their choices of food that we use in this movie. What do we got?
Remember, they were having lunch and they were having spare ribs and corn on the cob, baked beans. Average barbecue. A southern barbecue.
Would you feel that's probably everything? Mostly southern. I mean,
that's kind of hard to say.
We're not really known for any kind of barbecue stuff, are we? That's really our joke.
Other than Phil's, but I don't.
Down here, no.
Not down here. Down here.
Oh no, we have coops too, right? Or we have a few.
But then of course grits.
Oh yeah, they use the grits.
Actually, the grits was part of the evidence later on in the movie.
Oh my god, that's right. That's right.
We got the eyewitness.
Which was actually quite hilarious, getting him to break every one of those witnesses, man. He made them look like idiots. That's when the real, I feel, Joe Pesci-ness came out in the movie.
Yep. Hands down.
He was yelling at people. He was yelling at people on the stand.
Because he was really getting in his face, too. That just classic Pesci of, you ought to not fuck with me right now.
See, but watching the movie and then kind of going over it, it makes me want to watch every single mob movie that he did in a row over again. That's what I think that people that haven't seen this might catch another roll of Joe Pesci, especially if you're used to one type of Joe Pesci mentality.
If you're used to seeing one type of his character,
you're gonna love this.
Only one of his characters.
If you like that type of humor, yeah.
And as we go on through our series, we are going to kind of dissect each character that each actor does and everything. Like, say, we'll talk about Joe Pesci as Vinny, and then we'll talk about him in something else. Also,
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. But man, this whole thing from look at this. He's always just getting disturbed in some way. It just seems like ever since he gets to this place, he arrives in the town, it's just one shit show after the other. Having problems in court, not being able to sleep because of all the nonsense that he's dealing with around, we got trains.
Yeah.
Trains coming in late at night.
Trains and...
what does he tell him? What does this guy tell him? In the morning about the train?
What he goes in there and he...
What is it? What is it he says?
He says, does that whistle normally go off at 5:30 in the morning? And the guy tells him, no, that's entirely rare. Then the next day he goes in, yesterday you told me that it is extremely rare for that whistle to go off at 5:30 in the morning. It is. It's normally supposed to go off at 4:30. And just the look of dread in...
He hates his life the whole time he's in Alabama. The whole time.
Oh yeah.
He fucking hates it. It's not because of the state. He just is so out of his New York ways.
Right. Because he's from Pesci's from Jersey and real, but
from the movie, he's New Yorkish. And man, he just
it's basically he's the oddball in this whole thing, you know, the oddball just because they're all there in the South, and this group is from New York, and
it's so funny because I can't stop thinking of Marissa Tomei with Chinese food. Now I just want some Chinese food. I might have to get some Royal Mandarin after this.
I might have to get some barbecue pit tomorrow or something.
God, I know. I want something like barbecue style right now. Something.
Hey, Royal Mandarin and barbecue pit are right next to each other.
What time does Royal Mandarin close? Though they close early, huh? Jesus, I don't even know. But what do you think? You know what? What's your take on the offensive attorney here? How do you feel about him?
Oh, the stutter?
No, that's a defensive attorney.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's...
What's wrong with you? Pay attention.
No, that's Stan's attorney that comes later. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. You're fucking up. All right, go to... Why can't you get it right?
That's been our podcast for the past.
Why can't you get it right?
This
right here. Look at him. Look at that face. I feel like he looks at Stan like he wants to reach over and just backhand him in the head. He's not even giving him a chance to really be a lawyer. You know what I mean? He's just talking shit.
He hasn't from the get-go.
No.
It's just
him this whole time.
Because he's so scared of getting... Well, I mean, that's understandable, but still, I mean, don't slap the help away from me like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to get rid of free help?
Even if he isn't really that experienced, but he's family. He's family, and he's making an attempt.
You really think family's gonna not do everything they can to keep you out of prison?
Exactly.
You know, that's the real... Do you think that stuttering fuck is gonna help him? You know what I mean? Like, really?
You're on a good point.
Like, really? The whole time he's just... peace of mind, everybody out there. Don't ever go with an attorney that a courthouse gives you. Get a real attorney, please.
Right.
Because those attorneys want you to go to jail, and they want you to be, they're on their side. So just be cautious. And this movie will also kind of show you that, because they really do give you the stupidest people in the world to be attorneys, just so you go to jail.
Right.
So just something to think about also when you watch this movie. It's kind of not a lot of people think of that, but if that's what you can afford, that's what you can afford. Not everybody has a family attorney that,
turns out to be one of the sickest gangsters.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm not going to lie to you. If someone called and the lawyer showed up and it was Joe Pesci, I wouldn't even give a shit if he's a lawyer. I could just think he'd go to court and
I probably
just mob boss this somebody.
I probably would tell him, all right, cool. Shovels outside.
Yeah, no kidding. Where's the line at?
There's a line.
You know what I mean? Like,
where's the line, man? No, if it was Pesci at my door, I'd just picture him going, you call for my services? That's funny, isn't it? How is it funny? What's funny about it?
Funny how?
Funny how? What, am I a clown? Do I have music?
I can't wait to go through some more of those.
Yeah. I can't wait to just go through all of them. Well, not all, but just in general.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great.
This is going to be a really, really fun year.
Well, see, this is one thing I love about her character in this movie. She never loses faith in him. Even though he's totally on the verge of what you think would be destroying these kids' lives by, failing them as a lawyer. And she just, gives them all this hope and really does what, I feel a good girlfriend should do at that time of need.
Of course,
he needs it. And,
strong arm of...
And I feel like, honestly, a lot of that talk, regardless that they don't really put too much effort in, not effort, they didn't really talk too much into it. And I'm sure a lot of people don't really think too much into it, but I'm sure, that might have given him some little drive and ambition to prove to her that, maybe I'm not some lawyer that doesn't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Right. And the entire film, it just sucks because the entire film she's asking him constantly, can I help you? Can I help you? And he's always just putting her down going, no, you can't help. No, you can't help. Don't read this book. Don't. And then she comes out actually being the biggest help of his entire case.
Which is most of it.
At the end of the day, if you really think about it, at the end of the day, it was Marissa Tomei that saved these boys, not Joe Pesci.
No. I believe that. She definitely showed Joe Pesci's ass.
She does give him that look of, I know you're fucking up, but I'm still going to help you.
Oh, she definitely gives him that look.
Yeah, all throughout this movie.
See this? See it stands? Stan is just terrified compared to Bill.
Yeah.
You can just tell by looking at his facial expression, just as the way he presents himself as a character, it just. And here's Dippy Dip, right here. Introduction for Dippity Doodah John Gibbons, a.k.a. Dipshit Public Defender.
We'll show you why in a little bit.
Yeah.
But not only is he play a dim-witted defense attorney that they're thinking of,
he's an idiot.
But for comedic purposes, it works. It's just completely hilarious. It's a complete departure from what Pesci's character and the other defense attorney.
Every time I see this guy, he's either sitting on a table in the courthouse or falling asleep. You know what I mean?
It's like he just woke up and he's like, oh my god.
Look at that. Joe Pesci looks like he doesn't give a shit 80% of the time in this movie. Look at him. This is just, regardless of how small these roles are with the actors that they have in this movie too, Brendan, is just, it's great. I think everything really just goes together.
It gels together.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those comedies that just lets you just kind of.
A while back I was listening to an interview that Ralph Macchio did on a radio show, and he was telling them, the man interviewing him, he was telling him that originally Joe Pesci didn't really think Fred Gwynne would do a good job as the judge, just simply because he was Herman Munster. And that was even his excuse too, for what?
But he's a serious guy.
Yeah, but
so you don't think he was? So you're saying he wasn't a good role, or you think he was a good role?
No, this is what Joe Pesci thought at first.
Oh, okay.
And the way that Macchio explained to him was, so what? It's perfect. It's a perfect match. You have Herman Munster, a wise guy, and the Karate Kid in one movie.
Who's the Karate Kid? Billy, right?
Yeah, Billy's the Karate Kid. That's Ralph Macchio.
And that was a good movie.
And The Outsider.
What'd you think of Karate Kid?
It's a good movie.
For its time.
But when I think of Ralph Macchio, I think of Gambini.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just how it...
He's funny in this movie.
Or The Outsiders. The Outsiders is a really good movie.
But he's funny in this movie.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. Stan has his moments, but Stan is just so serious in this movie. I don't know. I like all the characters, but if we're gonna go ahead and grade characters on grades here, and we're just really gonna go over them, I'd have to give them like a B.
I will. Yeah,
maybe a C plus. Everyone else, though, over the top. A's all the way around.
Right.
Marissa Tomei, AAA.
I will say this: whenever Herman is in a scene with Pesci, and they're arguing bickering to each other, it kind of does feel like you're watching Herman and Grandpa.
I just think it's funny because the whole time he's trying to
the same height scale as Herman and Grandpa.
It's just, I think it's hilarious that he's trying to also in this whole thing just pass off as these attorneys that don't exist and just are fake, and he's playing this catch up with, good old Herman woman trying to. He's just the whole time. I mean, there's even a part where he tries to pass off as a dead guy. Right. There's a lot of good, so much good quality in this movie. A lot of just.
And honestly, it's just what it starts off and ends as is just two guys on their way to college.
Literally,
these guys are coming from NYU going to UCLA.
And why are they going to UCLA?
They got scholarships
to go to UCLA.
Yeah.
From NYU.
And they met at NYU.
What's funny? Did they ever say what they were trying to be? This whole movie?
No, I don't think.
Why?
The only person they really mention that for is Marissa Tomei having been a mechanic, and then Pesci going in as a lawyer. But they don't talk about that with the two guys.
I just think it's hilarious how
I think it was like calculus or something, but I have no idea. I have no idea.
That offense attorney, man, he's really got his stuff together compared to Joe Pesci this whole movie, though.
Oh yeah.
But man, just getting him caught up with that whole thinking that he really, got friendly and buddy and got all those files, and being an idiot,
But man, does Pesci really get him in the end?
Yeah,
flips it all on him. But all because of Marissa Tomei. All because the one person he didn't want helping him was his win.
This really is, it really is a good one, though, you guys. So, well, we're kind of gonna wrap up shop here in a little bit. Like I said, and me and Brendan were saying, we really want to make sure that you guys tune in. We're gonna have episodes every single Thursday. We're gonna go over movies, television, in depth, in detail,
music,
anything. We can also
artists.
You guys can send in requests if you want.
We're not going to go too further into detail with the series because that does take generally longer to view. We're just going to talk about them how we do with the movies, and then.
Yeah, I agree. And if you guys have any requests, go ahead and email at s.doule-media@att.net. If you want to talk about the movie we just talked about, any questions about maybe what you saw or, how you felt about My Cousin Vinny when you guys finally get a chance to see it. I really hope everybody really does, because it really is some good film history. Just some good old classic fun.
It's just a classic comedy. And in that same interview, Ralph Macchio also said he claims My Cousin Vinny is the late for dinner movie.
Yeah.
That means if you're getting ready to go out on a date or to have dinner or whatever, and you see this on television, you're going to be late for whatever you're doing. Just because it is My Cousin Vinny. It's one of those movies where you see it while you're getting ready and you're just like, I'm going to watch this.
And you get to a point where you like it a lot, and then you just kind of have it going on in the background.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're like, I don't want to, I have nothing really to watch. I'll just put on some My Cousin Vinny. You know what I mean? Some good old classic, some good old fun humor, Anyways, you guys, it really was a lot of fun talking to you guys with this first episode.
Feel free to subscribe if you enjoy our content, and we hope to entertain you and enthrall you with more content to come.
Definitely. And please subscribe if you do like it. That's a big thing, as we would like you guys to subscribe. More subscribers, more shows.
Go to Del Rey Cinema on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page. Give us a follow. Give us a like on there. We will be airing some of our content there, and as well our YouTube page for all side content that we will be making further on down the line.
There will be, exactly. There's going to be some good stuff coming your way, you guys. We're very, very excited about a lot of the stuff we're going to be showing you guys very soon into the upcoming future. Well, anyways, you guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe. If you're out driving, be careful.
Yes, be safe this weekend. We all hope you have fun and very careful out there in the weather this weekend. Episode 2 will be a live episode.
Yeah, it will. From what I'm feeling, it'll definitely be live. We're not going to tell you guys what it's going to be because
we will drop a promo
exactly
in the middle of the weekend. But that's as far as
I think that's actually a good idea. So you know what I mean. We'll do that. We'll drop that promo for everybody
on probably Sunday evening on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'll add a story.
Get everybody ready.
Yeah.
Get everybody ready. Anyways, you have a wonderful night. This is your host, Sean.
I'm your host, Brendan. Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful night.
Good night.